Oh, well, Xyceres here. Today we're doing a base tour of my second base, Basalt. This was a dangerous base made during the open beta, which is why it's got the 40 deaths permanently stuck on it, and also why it has 267 raids, because it was an early champion base when there wasn't many champion bases around. It has a 4.2 kill ratio and accolades about 0.9 per raid, which still not great. I still very much prefer 1 or higher, but better. Anyway, I shall see you while we're on it. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, so we just ran it. You might have noticed, it's very chaotic in there. I quite liked kill boxes even fairly early on, so this was my attempt at actually building one that I thought would work fairly well. I also was just kind of throwing things together pretty quickly, so it's nowhere near as effective as I would have liked. Notice that I've just marked both the tombs, make it real obvious for people to grab them. There's no traps or anything on the tombs, but I also have a second path, this yellow, that leads down here. You'll notice that this map has just a ton of bedrock just all over the place, but what was really interesting about it when I bought it is that back here, notice that I'm not actually using that many blocks to lock in this room that I've got here. There is a huge, like, open cavern just below here that actually doesn't take that many blocks to, like, fully lock up and make a huge open area. And then I just kind of work with the natural bedrock from there. Oh, I actually do have a trap. I forgot I still left that one there. Yeah, apparently I've got 2 traps on this one. I'm sure there's some kills around this one. Thought I got rid of that after the open beta. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual chamber down here. This part here, I considered putting this in there as well, but I didn't really have enough trap capacity for that. So I figured I'd just use this section here where it's got like kind of a natural wall and lock that on, but it meant putting in a full wall around here. But still a lot less than actually creating a box in the sky or something. I put in windows here so people can see what they're getting into and try and plan they'd like. There's a few on the roof as well. And just to make it a little bit prettier, I put this like hazard markings around the actual bunker, as I call it. So as we come in here, first thing we have here is 2 warmongers and a bomb trap. Ideally, you probably want to back up after seeing these, but you don't have to. You'll notice, despite this being massive and filled with traps, there's no acid on the floor here, so you have as much maneuverability as you'd like. Realistically, I could put acid around most of this, and I don't think it would change anything for most people. As for the guards, I basically just put them on I put enforcers on like every one of these blocks that's like poking out of the wall. So every single one that I had, I just put an enforcer on. They're all pathed to, you'll notice that you can actually see their pathing. They're all pathed to spin around to try and catch anyone in any part of this room. I think they all have optical implants as well. No, that one doesn't. Guess I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't put optical implants on them. No, okay. Apparently I didn't put any optical implants on them. I thought I did. There's a few bolt traps placed placed around to try and catch people that try to go up into the air. Because one of the easiest ways to deal with this is actually to shoot a few of these with like the volcanic plasma bow, and then just jump up onto their platforms and then shoot the rest. So I tried to put a bunch of bolt traps around such that that wasn't as good an option. And then just to try and hide the bolt traps a little bit, I've put some of these grates from the decorations on the roof and on the walls, because they don't really look like traps, but they look different to the bedrock, which makes it which makes it kind of seem like a trap. That one's not recording a path, it's just looking at a wall. Oh, that's messed up. I'm gonna fix that. That should network better that way. Yeah, so technically this is slightly more difficult than it was when it was mastered. Oh well. All these ones on the roof, I believe, have Chaos and Eagle Eye. They need Eagle Eye to be able to see the floor. But before I unlocked Eagle Eye, I actually had them down a bit, but it made the roof really low, and I didn't like that. It's just to add to the chaos. This is supposed to be incredibly chaotic, and it very much is. It was specifically designed for you to speedrun it. I was expecting people to just run in, grab that, and get out. A few people did clear the whole thing. The main way to do that is to just, yeah, work on it small bits at a time. You'll eventually clear the whole thing. There's nothing super dangerous in here, particularly with the bombs. And the bombs are all placed such that none of them actually hit the enforcers. I believe the bolts are the same, although I might be mistaken. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, it's just slightly to the side. I believe the bolts are all the same as well. They're all aimed such that they will not hit the enforcers. I didn't have Hunter at the time, so none of these are Hunters. They would be better if they were, in almost all cases here, because they're all in very open areas. And just like I got a couple second wave ones out here as well. Because I want to catch people coming out the door if they're too slow. Anyway, yeah, Basalt, it's basically just designed as like a giant bunker using the natural bedrock. It's not super well designed, I don't think. It's honestly just kind of what I was doing at the time, and I didn't have a lot of time during the open beta because there were other Next Fest was going on with a bunch of other demos for other games that I wanted to play. Anyway, this is Basalt. It will be on social until the description says otherwise, but for now, it is there if you'd like to try it. Okay, until next time, which would be, I think Pewatton Point is my next one, if I'm remembering correctly.